So for this video, you're going to need a cup of fennel tea, a notebook, and a nice houseplant sitting next to you. No, I'm just kidding. You don't need any of those things to watch this video. You can just watch the video, but it would make things a lot more cozy, so I definitely should suggest it. So, something I want to talk about today is the feeling of being lost. And I want to say that it's totally okay to feel lost in life and not know what you want or want too many things that you want to try out and be overwhelmed by all those things, which, by the way, is a great thing. But it can also suck. It can suck to feel like you have no clue what you're doing and to not know how to move forward. And I felt this in the past years so many times, and I've cried and I felt confused and doubted myself, and it wasn't fun. And recently in the past months, I've changed my perspective a bit. I found this different way of mindset that has helped me a lot to deal with this and to be a lot more calm and relaxed about this. And that's why I'm making this video, is to share it with you, and maybe it can help some of you. That would be amazing. So I think while we are going through the motions, of school, high school, maybe university, or we're going through a job, or we're just simply trying to get through COVID, we come to a point where we start to question everything, and we realize, okay, where are we going next? What do we want to do with our lives? And it could be in the short term, it could be in the next few weeks, or it could be in the next few years, or just over a lifetime. Of course, you don't have to figure all of that out, but our brain tends to go to these places and try and sort it out and try and figure it out. And I think there's a lot of people try and set goals, especially at this time of the year, the beginning of the year, or the end of the last year. We try and come up with goals, and we set them in stone, and we are overambitious, and we have to get these done, and we have to achieve these goals, and it can stress us out. It can create so much stress, it can create so much anxiety in some people, maybe not in all people, but for a lot of people it can do that. And to be honest, who achieves their goals always? I'm sure there's been times in your life where you just haven't achieved goals, or maybe you haven't even set goals because you couldn't be bothered. And I also agree, I used to set goals a lot, and they never really worked for me. They just created more stress rather than calmness and fun, to be honest. And that's what I'm aiming for right now in my life, is just to have more fun and not take things so seriously. And that's why this mindset of experimentation has helped so much the past few months. And what I mean by that is, instead of, like I said, setting these goals, you treat things that you want to do as an experiment. So you're okay from the get-go that these are just things that you're trying out, and they could fail, they might not work out, and that's okay. And you're okay with that from the beginning. You don't beat yourself up about it. Rather than with goals where you know, okay, so there's this goal, I have to achieve it, I have 3 months to do it, and go. And if I don't, I fail to achieve my goal. And if you treat things as an experiment, it's more like, okay, I'm trying this out, I'm doing it, I'm throwing things at the wall. Maybe I'm trying out different things that I want, and they could go wrong, and maybe down the track I'll realize that I actually don't want those things anymore. And then at least you've not spent so much time on it, and you're not beating yourself up about it, because it's just an experiment. And I really believe that if you find that thing, or several things that you really want to do and you're meant to be doing, you will know it, and it won't be such a struggle. It won't be like something that you have to convince yourself to do all the time. It will just be something that you do. Of course, with some things in life that's maybe different, like, with habits that you're building, like healthy eating, for example, it can be tough in the beginning, and you have to kind of exercise some self-discipline. But with other things, like, okay, I want to write a book, for example, it might not be that way. So you might think you want to write a book. You might have wanted it for years and years and years and never tried it because you think it's just such a huge thing. And then maybe if you try it, you realize you don't actually want that thing. You don't want to write a book anymore. And then if that happens and you set it as a goal, it might be a failure for you, and you might really beat yourself up. But if you see it as an experiment, as something that you're just trying out, then it could be way more relaxed. And so the way I treat this mindset of experimentation is it's kind of like design thinking. So design thinking is something that I use in product management a lot. This is what I studied. You identify a problem that people have, or a lot of people have, one person has. You really try and understand this problem, and then you come up with lots of different ideas of how to solve this problem. And then you come up with ways of testing these ideas. And some of them might work and some of them might not. Some of them might completely fail. And in design thinking, that's okay. It's actually great if ideas fail, because then you have less ideas to work with and you come closer to the idea that will work. And that's how I'm kind of seeing my life right now. It's just testing out things, trying them out, and being okay with failure. Because I think in society we have this pressure that everything has to be achieved, and if you fail at something, or you quit doing something, or you change your mind about something, it's bad. But actually, it's completely good. Like, it's actually great if you do that, and it just means that you get to cross one more thing off your list of things that you want. So, with saying that, I actually want to go through a little exercise that I came up with, which really has helped me. I'm going to do it together with you and come up with some examples so you get an idea of how you can apply it to your life. And feel free to do it with me. I think it could help you, or just watch it and see if you think it could help, and just try it. Honestly, it's not going to take a long time. You might actually get somewhere with it, and it might actually help you feel a little bit less lost. So the exercise is step one. So step one of the exercise is really simple. You just write down a list of all the things that you want. And if you don't know what you want, that's cool. I think then you might have to put some music on and really just get clearer, because there are things that you want. I'm sure there are things you want in life. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe you just want a nicer mattress to sleep on. Really random right now. I don't know how I just came up with that, but maybe that's something you want. Or it could be, like writing a book. But anyway, I'm just going to write down some things, and it might give you some ideas as well. Okay, so I came up with some things. I hope you did too. So I'm going to read out some of the things that I came up with. I want to do kickboxing classes regularly. So that's something I've been wanting for a long time, because I used to do them a lot when I was living in Australia. Now I live in Berlin, and of course with COVID, things have really been making this difficult. But that's something I want to do, and maybe not even kickboxing, it's just some sort of martial arts or like boxing or Muay Thai that I want to do regularly in a studio and with other people together, because I think that could be fun. I also want to write a book. I've been wanting to write a book for more than 10 years probably, and also a YouTube channel. I want to start a YouTube channel and upload videos regularly, and if this video has made it to the internet, here we go. My experiment is already starting to become successful because I've uploaded this video. And so these are just a few things. I'm not going to overwhelm you because I think that's already enough. But the next step is, from all of those things, it might be like 20 or 50 things on your list, and that's totally cool. If they are amazing, just go through all of those things and realistically think, what are the things that I can try out now? And what are the things that maybe I want to try out at some point in the future, because you can only manage so many things. And if you're like me and you are so excited about trying a lot of different things at once, it's cool, because the good thing is about experiments, you can try some things in less time if you really do those experiments right. And so, pick a few things. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 10, but to stay sane, I would suggest not picking more than 3 or 4 things. But don't take my word for it. You know yourself best and your lifestyle and what you're doing in your life right now. So just do as many things as you can manage. And maybe it's just 1. That's also great. That's actually probably the best thing. Step number 3, once you've picked those things, is to come up with different experiments of how you can test those things out in as simple of a way as possible, to help you to figure out if it's something that you want to pursue further. And so, for example, kickboxing classes, I could set as a goal to do a trial class for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, and then try out one studio, do a few trial classes, and then I will know as I'm going to those classes if I like them or not. And then if I don't, completely cool. I might figure out that I want to try a different sport, I want to do it more often, I want to do it less often, I want to try a different studio, all of those sort of things, and I will adjust them as I go. So I'll tweak the experiment. And then maybe I will get to a point where I really enjoy it and it's just going to turn into a habit and it's something that I just do. Or maybe not. Maybe I realize, okay, it's not really for me. I don't want to go to classes. I prefer going for runs by myself in the park, for example. And I would say, yeah, consider that as a successful experiment. The other thing is YouTube channel. I want to upload regular videos on there. And as an experiment, I could say, okay, for the next 3 months, I'm going to upload a video every week. And I'm just going to see how it goes, if I like it, if I enjoy doing it, if I can fit it into my schedule. Of course, I'm going to have to shuffle things around a bit to really actually make it work. But I'm going to see if it fits into my lifestyle and if it's something that I can really see myself doing for the long term. And then if I realize after maybe even 2 months, I want to keep on doing that, amazing. That means success. That means my experiment was successful and I figured out a thing that I actually want to do and I will stick with it. If it's something where I realize after, a couple of videos, this is something that I hate, I don't want to do it, I dread it every time, then this could be an indicator that I don't want to do it. And it could be the same for you. So you picked a few things and then you come up with these experiments such as, publishing 1 video a week for the next 3 months. Then you could realize this is not something for me anymore. This is something you hate. And then you are okay with it failing. And I think that's the key thing about this experimentation mindset, is just being fine with things going wrong and not succeeding or not failing. And it actually just means that you've won because you figured out one more thing that you don't want to do and you can cross it off your list and move on to the next one and try out more things. And then eventually you will end up with a few different things that you actually want to pursue, that you actually want to do and that you're excited about doing. And that's really when you've won, and that's when obviously you will probably not be lost anymore because you will have filled your life with things that you enjoy doing. And I hope this makes sense. I hope this is an exercise that you can do right now. I hope it's not too crazy and out there because I came up with it, and so maybe it probably exists already out there before somewhere on the internet, but I hope this helps you anyway. I hope you try this out. I hope you don't stress yourself too much. And maybe come up with a goal of having fun while you're doing this, or some sort of emotion that you're going for, like fun or passion or inspiration or connection, something that you want to feel while doing these things, and something where okay, this is when my experiment is successful, when I'm feeling this way, when I'm feeling alive, when I'm feeling inspired, when I'm feeling creative, then I know this experiment is successful. And if you don't feel those things, then it's a fail and you can move on to the next experiment. So this is all I wanted to share today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna have a cup of tea because I've been speaking for a while. A cup of tea. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. That's what I was gonna say. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please let me know in the comments below. It would be amazing because it would help me to know if my experiment of putting up YouTube videos was successful, and also it would just be nice to connect with you and just to learn about what you're trying out, and if you like this way of experimentation, or if you're more of a goal setter, which is completely fine as well, and maybe you completely disagree with what I just said, that's also great. Please let me know, and maybe love it. So either way, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you don't stress yourself too much. Be easy on yourself because this time is difficult enough as it is. And I will see you in the next video.